kind of do a review like we do each week of the UMass game. Turnovers are still an area that we're going to have to improve. Opening the game with an interception to start the game is not what we would prefer. And then the fumble down in the red zone, but there were two big plays in the game. But we're going to have to improve in that area. That's something that's very, very important that we believe in strongly. And then penalties, we did have 5 penalties in that game. UMass had 4. And those penalties, like we talked about in post-game, those penalties came at tough times. We had one play that negated a 65-yard or 50-yard completion. And then we had another play that took off an interception from our defense. So we got to make sure we do a good job there. Explosive plays, we had 7 explosive plays in the game on offense. Our goal is to have 8, so we came up a little bit short there. Defensively, we allowed 1, and our goal was 3 or less per game, so we met our goal there. On to UAB, I think this is a good game for both schools. It makes sense from a regional perspective. Got a lot of respect for Garrett McGee. I've known Garrett for a long time. I think he does a really good job since he was at Northwestern, since he was at Arkansas with Coach Petrino. I think he does a good job. They got 12 of 22 starters returning. They're 0-1 all-time versus Vanderbilt. Last year they were 3-9. This year they're 1-2 right now. Lost to Troy, lost to LSU, beat Northwestern State this past week. On defense, their defensive coordinator Reggie Johnson, I thought, is doing a good job. Looking at it on film, I think he's doing a good job. They're returning 7 starters. They're a 3-4 defensive alignment, although they will play some 4-3. They'll match up based on personnel and things like that. They'll use some unconventional schemes, dropping 8 and pressures as well. Guys, thing that jumps out to me right away is how tall they are at corner. Looking at their offense, I think they're averaging 33 points a game on offense. Richard Owens, their offensive coordinator, but we all know Garrett McGee's very involved in that as well, returning 5 starters. They're a balanced offense, very similar to what Arkansas was running a few years ago. Quarterback throws a really good deep ball. He's a returning starter, completing, I think, 52% of his passes. Their running back, Darren Reeves, I think is a good player, 5'10", 210 pounds. And then they got 2 wide receivers, Jamarcus Nelson, 5'11", 160 pounds, number 1. He's going to show up in a return game as well. He's got a kickoff return and a punt return for a touchdown this year. He's an explosive playmaker.